Day one of the Pop Warner Super Bowl is in the books, and what a day of football it was. 32 teams started the day, and 16 teams have earned the right to advance with the hopes of calling themselves a Pop Warner Super Bowl champion. Welcome to the Postgame Show, everybody. I'm Michael Kane here with Coach Doug Graber. Coach, unbelievable day of football action. I'm tired, but it was a fantastic day, partner.
You know what? Every time I come here, I'm amazed at the skill level of these young men, and it is fun to watch.
Well, a ton of action today. Let's get right to the highlights. First with the game you just saw here on Field 17. Ward 5 Warriors facing off against the Red Cobras from Tustin. And the Warriors, they were just dominant all day, Coach. Traquan Nelson, he's going to take the handoff and goes deep early.
Speed and more speed, but I'll tell you what, I was really proud of Tustin the way they came back in the second half.
Well, very next play, Nelson finishes it for the score, puts his team up 7-0. But then they were doing it on defense as well, like they've done all year. Great D here by Raphael Busey as he's going to get the INT, Coach.
That's from cover two, the cover two safety. What a play he makes. Look at the high point in the ball, and what an effort to come down with it. I mean, that's a big-time play.
Well, big-time play indeed. Great concentration, and they are going to capitalize off the turnover. Antonio Burnett, he's rolling out, Coach, and you know the result.
Yeah, he's just hit the slot receiver, and it was uncovered, and he knew what to do with it.
Well, then Ellingsworth in the third, looking to get something going for his team. He's going to find Logan Lola. And how about that, Coach? Acrobatic, holds on to the ball.
Yeah, Ellingsworth is 6'4" now. He is really going to be a great player. And I'll tell you what, a throwback he made right there.
Well, that score there, Coach, the first score against Ward 5 all season long. Great second half adjustments for them. And Traquan Nelson, though, at the end, he's going to find DeJuan Jones. Great catch. Takes it in for the INT. Ward 5 so dominant as they've been all year, 35-16, but for the first time all year, gave up 2 scores.
Yeah, they are really going to be a force now in this Pop Warner tournament.
Absolutely. Well, with that, let's go down on the field with the guy who had the call, Dave Diaz-Infante. DDI, unbelievable game. Great call by you, my friend. But how about that Ward 5 defense?
Well, the things that stand out in my mind about Ward 5 is their speed. They've got multiple athletes that play the running back and wide receiver position, and they do a really good job of getting their playmakers the ball in space. But at the same time, they're physical. So that combination of being fast and physical is a formula and probably one of the main reasons why they're defending national champs.
Well, talk to us about that Tustin team. The adjustments they made at halftime, first 2 scores all season against Ward 5. They should hold their heads up high walking out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no quit in that football team. They got to be proud of their effort. And I really like what they did in the second half because I think there's some things that teams can take away from what they did in the second half. And those things are defensively, they decided to match up and play tight coverage outside and really blitz off the edges to contain that perimeter rushing attack of Ward 5. And the other thing they did offensively is they started getting some kickouts against those wide ends up the field. So if you get a kick out and you double team down and bring a wrapper around, I think there's a place to gain some yards in the running game there. And then also the screen game because they're so aggressive. So I think those 2 things are things they're going to have to learn how to defend better, and some things I think the other teams that are going to be scouting and breaking down this film, Coach, that they're going to be able to take away and find maybe a place where they can stress that defense a little.
Absolutely. Now with this Ward 5 team, DDI, defending champions, can they make it 2 in a row? What's it going to take to go back-to-back?
Well, I think so. The one thing they didn't do in this game is if the ball continues to bounce their way, no turnovers. The ball was on the ground a couple of times, and every time it fell their way. That's because they play with great hustle and speed. And Coach knows when you're a defender and you're hustling or you're on offense, you happen to be around the ball all the time because that comes down to hustle.
Fantastic. Well, DDI, great call, buddy. Get some rest. You got another big day of calling games tomorrow. Coach, you heard DDI talking about the defensive hustle. How about that Ward 5 defense and their hustle?
Well, he's right. And, of course, they demand that hustle. And that's why they're so good on defense. They run to the football, and they run to the football very fast, I might add. And that's really the difference maker for them.
Well, definitely speed kills. But we had 3 other great games in the midget division over on Field 16. Another fantastic effort between 2 really good teams. Chargers versus the Eagles. And in the second quarter, the Chargers, Mark Gronkowski, he's going to hand off to Jacob Snell, punches it in for the TD.
That's a lot of want-to right there.
Absolutely. Well, then in the third quarter, the Eagles, Robert Bellamy Allen, he's going to find Shaquan Kemp. Big game in yardage here, Coach.
Yeah, the double reverse, and what a cutback right there. That's just a great effort.
Well, and the Eagles weren't done there. Later in that third quarter, Walcott Muhammad, he's going to find Robert Bellamy again for the TD. Chargers up 16-13. Eagles have all the momentum in the second half. Walcott Muhammad, how about this? Finding Shaquan Kemp. Great catch. And how about the finish, Coach?
Well, high pointed the ball, and again, a big, tall, lean receiver that can run.
Then Charlotte, they're trying to make something happen late. Last attempt to win this game. Number 7, the quarterback, just gets smothered. Not going to be enough. The Eagles win by 3 to advance. Pop Warner Super Bowl championships. Over on field 18, the West Elmwood Intruders facing off the Wildcats. Coach, this one was all Elmwood.
Yeah, and again, that was a well-designed play. They really had a flood route to the wide side of the field, and again, good speed to put it in.
Well, great speed there. Jalen Lopez, that was his second TD of the game. On to the third quarter. This is the opening kickoff. How about Wesley Moore? Coach, he's going to get it, and he's got one destination inside after a little hesitation, and that's the goal line.
He really set his blocks up well. By just that little hesitation going up the middle of the field, then breaking outside, he really set the blocks, no clips. Well done.
Well, just great body control there as he tightrope down the sideline. But how about this? After a terrible snap, Gambino Arce, he's going to struggle to get rid of the ball, but he gets it. Great save there, but not enough as West Elmwood just a buzzsaw as they win 33-0.
Yeah, snapping the football is always somewhat of an issue here at Pop Warner.
Well, DDI talked about that. The call over on field 19, Firecats versus Tamiami Colts, and Andre Stringfield, number 2. Coach, he was great all day long.
He really was, and I'll tell you, the Florida teams historically do very, very well here, and that's 2 good teams from Florida right there.
Well, Tamiami up 6 in the second quarter, then Janice Phillips. He's going to find Nicholas Graham, who great heads-up play to avoid the interception in the touchdown. But then it's Stringfield again, punches it in for the TD. Tamiami's up 14. Then in the fourth quarter, Phillips, tough day for Phillips. He's going to put it on the ground. Datavius Jackson, he's going to pick it up, Coach, and he's going all the way for the score.
Yeah, and look who's chasing him down right there. The same guy. We talked about his speed earlier.
Number 2, Stringfield. Firecats are going to put it in late. They're going to get on the board here. John Colas, he's going to sneak it in on that right corner for the TD, but it's not going to be enough as Tamiami wins 14-6 to advance. Taking a look at our semifinal action, December 8th, 3:15 kickoff. That Ward 5 juggernaut, they're going to face off at the team from Wilmington, North Carolina, and then West Elmwood again. So tough. It's going to be a shootout with them and Tamiami. Again, those games right here on ESPN 3, December 8th at 3:15. Stick around, folks. We are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, highlights from Division II Pee Wee. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The ESPN Wide World of Sports complex at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida has emerged as the pinnacle of youth tournament travel, catering to the needs of the entire family. We offer a complete line of solution-oriented products and services to address the complex needs of teams on the road and the team parents who support them. To find out how to achieve vacation victory, visit ESPNWWOS.com. The peak of Expedition Everest can be seen from just about everywhere around Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. It calls the brave to challenge high-altitude hairpin turns and puts you face-to-face with the snarling beast who guards the mountain, the legendary Yeti.
Welcome back, everybody. ESPN's Wide World of Sports complex inside our brand new state-of-the-art facility, 59th annual Pop Warner Super Bowl. It's been a great day of action. Michael Kane here with Coach Doug Graber. Moving on to the junior Pee-wees. Our first games of the day back with an 11 o'clock kickup over on field 17, the game you saw right here on ESPN 3. The Hawks versus the Outlaws. And early on, tough run for big 44 Jake Howell.
Boy, that was a really well executed play. It was a counter power play and really well done.
Well, 2 plays later, the Indians QB Joseph Mishak, he's just going to begin to take over, sneaks it in for the score. But the Outlaws doing it on defense and special teams as well.
Yeah, and these are 8, 9, and 10-year-olds, and you're going to be amazed at the execution of these young kids.
Well, in the third quarter, it's the QB Mishak again. Coach, he's going to find that right side, and number 2 is going 46 yards for the score.
Yeah, good effort downfield blocking, and again, he knows what to do with it. I'll tell you, Colorado, both teams from Colorado were tough today.
Well, Mishak, just the quarterback, was all over the field today. Here, you see he keeps the ball. He loves that right side, Coach. Goes in for the score, shakes off a couple tacklers. Extra point attempt is no good. At this point, they're up 30-0, Coach. And then how about Mishak on the defensive end?
Boy, I'll tell you, as a free safety, play in the middle of the field, cover 3. Of course, now we're in a running the clock situation right there, so he's not going to. They're up by over 28. So.
Well, he couldn't advance, so Jake Howell there puts the cherry on the Sunday, 37-0, his second TD of the game. Over on field 16, Sharks versus the Cowboys. Cowboys going on 4th, Coach, but great D by the Sharks.
Yeah, Ponte Vedra Sharks from Florida, and again, they got after it, boy.
Well, then the Sharks QB Caleb Coleman, he's going to get the ball, little QB sneak up the middle, first points of the game. Then a new QB in the second quarter for the Sharks. It's Baylor Hayes. He's going to find Nathan Bukowski for the score. Point of Vedra up 14-0, and they weren't done there, Coach. Moving on to the third. Again, it's the combo Hayes, Bukowski. How about this one, Coach?
Yeah, again, 8, 9, and 10-year-olds. That was the lefty. He put air into the ball, made a great throw.
Well, great over-the-shoulder catch. Vedra goes on to win and win big, 28-0. Over on field 18, the U.S. Saints from Hawaii facing off against the Fort Osage Indians, and the Indians were just a buzzsaw. Here's the quarterback, Larry Jones. Coach, he's going 65 yards untouched.
Yeah, but these young kids, that's a long trip now from Hawaii. They might have had a little jet lag working in this game.
Well, Jones was so tough, but the Saints try and get something going. Quarterback Blaine Contreras, he's going to take pressure in the pocket, but he goes deep. And how about Braden Furtado?
Well, that's wonderful effort, getting up and getting that football right there.
Well, unbelievable effort, concentration to bring the ball down, and the quarterback Blaine Contreras says, hey, you know what? We didn't get it there. Let's finish this off. Keeps the ball, punches it in for the score, 14-8. But then Larry Jones says, you know what? This game is over. Put it on my shoulders, guys. I'm going to take you to victory. Number 4, little hesitation. You see him pointing there, Coach. Field general. Number 4 was great all day.
Great block on the cutback by the wide receiver. That really was the key to springing him on that TD.
Well, over at field 19, Warriors versus the Blue Devils, and the Devils, Jermod Benton finds the end zone early.
Yeah, Awards 5 is just such a great traditional program in Pop Warner, and they showed it today.
Well, the Warriors came back. Robert Stevens, he puts them right back on the board the next series, 7-6 at this point. And the Warriors, Devontae Vaughn says, hey, if you can do that, so can I. How about the run here by number 5?
Made a great jump cut in the backfield and a great speed to get to the outside.
Well, and the Warriors spread out the scoring all day today, Coach. You saw Vaughn there in the third quarter. This was Davion Davis for the score.
He's a little guy, but I'll tell you what, he scoots into the corner of the end zone.
Well, I'll tell you what, they had so many scores today, and you see the victory there, Ward 5, 25-12. Going on to our semifinals, this will be the early game, December 8th, 8:30 kickoff. Fort Collins facing off against that tough team from right here in the state of Florida. And then the game I'm really looking forward to, the Fort Osage Indians facing off against that tough Ward 5 squad. All right, guys, we got one more break. Stick around with us. We have more highlight action, Division II Pee Wee action right after the break.
Check out the wildest ride in the wilderness. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom Park has you careening through steep mountain passes and in and out of darkened caves on a runaway train that seems to have a mind of its own. So hold on to your hats as you zip around the winding track right here at the Walt Disney World Resort. ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex at Florida's beautiful Walt Disney World Resort is your amateur basketball destination. Offering multiple tournaments for athletes from Pee Wee to collegiate level, the complex also attracts NCAA coaches from top programs nationwide. To find out how your team can compete here, visit DisneyBasketball.com.
And welcome back to the Postgame Show, ESPN's Wide World of Sports Complex, 59th Annual Pop Warner Super Bowl. I'm Michael Kane here with Coach Doug Graber. Moving on to the highlights of the Pee Wee division, the game you saw here on Field 17, the Titans facing off against the Rangers. Coach, this was a good one.
It really was a good one. And again, now these kids are 9, 10, and 11, and the skill level, I mean, that is a big, big-time play. You talk about high-pointing the football.
Well, on the very next play here after the pick, Vincent Pagana, number 5, we called his name all day long, Coach.
Yeah, this was a great, great football game all day, and he may have stepped out here, but we have no replay in Pop Warner.
No replay in Pop Warner for sure, but going on to the 4th, the Rangers' Coleman Bennett, he just took over in the second half, Coach.
Yeah, the Florida team really got it going here in the second half.
Well, the Titans are going to then retake the lead when Holloman finds Roper, but in the end, the Rangers' Mark Dorsett just too much, Coach.
Yeah, another Florida team advances, and again, that's why everybody recruits the state of Florida.
Well, Coach, this one, we had some excitement in the end here. You see there, Wake Forest takes the lead 22-16, but then how about this? The quarterback, are you kidding me? He had played quarterback every play of the game until that one, Coach.
This was a wild, wild football game, and that catch was really the key to the game.
Well, just great hands there. And, Coach, this was one of your favorite plays of the day.
Yeah, but Brisbane, number 40, made 2 spectacular blocks on the wide receiver screen. This game was absolutely crazy.
Over on Field 16, the Bruisers versus the Red Hawks. And the Hawks up by 8 in the second quarter. They go for it on 4th and short, but big D for the Bruisers.
Yeah, they tried to run the power sweep, but just too much pursuit.
Well, the Bruisers get the ball back and take advantage. Devin Brown lobs it to Matthew Fike for the score, all tied up at 8 after the 2-point conversion. See the coach there trying to calm his team down. In the second, the Hawks, Ryan Smith, he's going to find Tanner Kozel, Coach.
Halfback pass, and he was wide open, and that's what happened. When you run the football well, it brings him up.
Well, but then on to the third quarter, Devin Brown, he's going to find Javerald Jacobs, coughs it up, and the Hawks regain the ball, Coach.
Yeah, that was a middle screen, and a lot of teams in Pop Warner run that middle screen now.
Well, the Hawks take advantage of the turnover. Ryan Smith, he's going to hand off to Javon Bernardo for the score, and the Hawks win 24-8 over the Bruisers. And over on Field 28, the War Dogs from Colorado Springs facing off against the Cowboys. Cowboys up by 1 until Raheem Rainey goes long and finds Jacob Hernandez.
The Colorado teams really represented themselves very well today.
Well, in the third, the Warriors, number 2, Anthony Costanzo. Number 2 had a big, big day. Takes a rock, and, Coach, you know the result.
Yeah, he was just a tough, hard-nosed running back that really created havoc.
Well, you see number 2 here. He didn't get in. His buddy finishes it off. Caden Dooley, 12-14. Point after is going to be no good, and that's going to be all she wrote here in the fourth, Coach.
Yeah, it was a great football game, back and forth the whole game.
See there, Coach, getting his team fired up. You know, all these teams today coached so well, Coach. So much discipline for all these teams.
Well, that was a tough drop right there, but that's football. It happens.
Well, Mount Hope, they squeak out the 2-point win in our final game in the Pee Wee's Field 19, Venom versus the Lions, and Brick City was just an absolute buzzsaw. You see here, this is Zaire Abdus Salam, first of 3 TDs on the day.
Of course, you know, Brick City from New Jersey going against the team from the state of Washington.
Big day here. Little bobbled snap, airs it out, finds his buddy in the back. He's like, how about that concentration there, Coach? Unbelievable hands for Derek Miller.
Are you kidding me? That was special.
And then Brick City puts the icing on the cake at the end. David Williams gets it in for the TD. Brick City wins, and they win big, 39-0, as they advance to the semifinals. Here's a look at our semifinal action. December 8th, 10:30 kickoff. Parkland, another Florida team staying local. They're going to face that tough Hoffman Estates Redhawks team from Illinois. Our other semifinal in the Pee-wees, Mount Hope against Brick City. Brick City was just an absolute buzzsaw. See if they can carry that over to the semifinals. We're going to take a real quick break, one more break, and then Junior Pee-wee Division 2. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
Champion Stadium at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex has been the home of Atlanta Braves baseball since 1997. This preeminent multi-sport complex hosts athletes from over 70 countries in more than 60 sports, all in the halo of the #1 family vacation destination, Walt Disney World Resort. For more information on visiting the complex, visit ESPNWWOS.com. Hundreds of high school and college teams maximize their preseason training by heading to the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex at Walt Disney World for our annual Disney Lacrosse Spring Training, featuring clinics and combines with Casey Powell. Preparation and competition at the finest multi-sport facility in the world will help ensure your squad's success throughout the season. For more information, visit DisneyLacrosse.com.
And welcome back to the post-game show, everybody. Coverage of the 2015 Pop Warner Super Bowl. It's been an unbelievable day of coverage. We've seen some highlights already. Now we're looking at the junior midgets. Michael Kane here with Coach Doug Graber. Let's take a look at on field 17 for the junior midgets. Probably one of the top games of the day. Lee Summit Broncos facing off against the North County Panthers. And the Panthers look downfield long early, Coach.
Well, I'll tell you, this was a great matchup all day with Davis, the corner, against that great receiver.
Well, in the very next play, the Panthers punch it in for the score. They're up 16-6 at this point after the two-point conversion.
Boy, but Lee Summit came storming back after that.
Boy, they sure did, Coach. The Panthers had all the momentum until this play right here by Dane Davis.
Yeah, and he played a great cornerback position all day long, and they played zone, caught him in cover two. He made a great play on the football. This young man really played an outstanding game.
Outstanding game, and he certainly set the tone for the second half, Coach. In the third quarter, got to look here at Micah Manning. He's going to get him down to the goal line, Coach. This was a drive that took nearly 7 minutes of the third quarter.
All the offensive line did a great job all day long, and that's what they do.
Well, you see there, Jackson Kemper punches it in, extends the lead, and then in the fourth quarter, the Broncos key on Mosey. And, Coach, there's not a whole lot you can't say about this one.
Yeah, and that's their game plan. They're going to run the football inside. They're going to play great defense. Their secondary had a great day as well.
Well, Lee Summit wins big, 38-16 as they advance. Over on field 16, Colorado Springs War Dogs versus the Ravens, and this was all War Dogs. The Ravens go deep, but how about the defense by Eddie Kyle for the pick? And he was not done there. Coach Kyle on offense.
Yeah, that was a great break he made on the ball. Watch the effort. Watch the want to right there. Great effort.
One of the top plays of the day. Let go of my shirt, he says, in for 6. And the War Dogs are just rolling. But then some great D by the Ravens here. You see Brandis Izzard. He's going to strip the ball, give his team. Looks like he may go, Coach. Great effort, but how about Gervin Herberg with the speed to prevent the touchdown?
That's just a great individual effort, no question.
But then Herberg showed he could do it on defense. He can do it on offense as well. He finds David Moore, and Moore is just going to run through. How many guys are going to touch him before he goes down, Coach? Well, guess what? He's not going down. He's getting in the end zone for the touchdown, 24-0. The Dogs run away with it as they win big. Final score, Coach, 30-0 as the War Dogs advance.
Yeah, but they've been here before. They're an outstanding program.
Over on field 18, the Raiders versus the Lions. The Raiders are going to score first. This is Anthony Guzman straight up the middle, Coach.
Yep, and again, a north and south running, nothing fancy there.
Well, on to the third quarter. It's all tied at 7, and then who else? Guzman. Number 21 takes that left side, then cuts back up the middle, Coach, punches it in for 6.
Yeah, and the safety missed the tackle. That was a good cutback.
Well, on to the fourth, and some tough D by the Lions.
This was just a hard-nosed, good football game throughout.
Well, and then later in the fourth, 14-7 Raiders. You see them, they don't pick it up there on fourth. The Lions get one late shot at, turn it over on downs, and then Guzman, Coach, he came up big so often through this game. He's just going to put the icing on the cake. Number 21 takes it. He's going to go down that left side, cuts it back to the middle, 55 yards. So he puts the cherry on the sundae. And St. Pete Raiders go on to win 20-7. And over on field 19, Panthers versus the Deer Valley Crusaders. Panthers up by 6, and then Corey Shantz, he's going to find Damian Ortiz for the score.
Yeah, that was a great job of looking the ball in.
Well, off in the third quarter, Deer Valley defense are going to step up big, Coach. 3 consecutive stops at the goal line. Couldn't get it 1 yard. The defense was just so tough in that third quarter.
Nothing more exciting than a goal line stop. Nothing.
Well, we had 3 of them, then on to the fourth. The Panthers come back. Jackson Annard for the score, and the 2-point conversion is good, 16-12. But then Deer Valley just storms back. Damian Ortiz with the game-winning TV. Deer Valley wins in a squeaker, 20-16. Coach, here's a look at the bracket advancing. Semifinal December 8th. 115 Lee's Summit facing that tough War Dogs team from Colorado. And then in our other semifinal, St. Pete facing off in a shootout against Deer Valley. All of those games right here, ESPN 3, Saturday, December 8th. Coach, we got one more bracket of highlights to go through. It's been a great day, but stick around with us. We're going to invite Josh Bruce, Director of Media Relations for Pop Warner, after the break. Stick around.
Champion Stadium at the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex has been the home of Atlanta Braves baseball since 1997. This preeminent multi-sport complex hosts athletes from over 70 countries in more than 60 sports, all in the halo of the #1 family vacation destination, Walt Disney World Resort. For more information on visiting the complex, visit ESPNWWOS.com. Hundreds of high school and college teams maximize their preseason training by heading to the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex at Walt Disney World for our annual Disney Lacrosse Spring Training, featuring clinics and combines with Casey Powell. Preparation and competition at the finest multi-sport facility in the world will help ensure your squad's success throughout the season. For more information, visit DisneyLacrosse.com.
And welcome back to the post-game show, everybody. Day 1, Pop Warner 59th annual edition of this fantastic youth sporting event. I'm Michael Kane. It's great to be here with you. Of course, Doug Graber, coach who's been with us all day. We're happy to welcome to this set the Director of Media Relations for Pop Warner, Mr. Josh Bruce. Josh, unbelievable first day of action. Give us your thoughts.
The athleticism this year, probably the best I've ever seen. Some amazing plays today. I thought the grit and determination from some of the teams, we saw teams get down, come back and win or fight the whole way. Honestly, I couldn't ask for a better day of football. Tomorrow, I'm just psyched about it. I can't wait.
Well, you sound excited. We were excited all day. You mentioned athleticism and great plays. We were telling our fans all day today, vote on Twitter. Your votes are going to pick the top 5 plays of the day, and we got them for you right here. Josh, you're going to watch through these with us. Top 5 plays at number 5. It's a midget game. Fort Myers Firecats versus Tamiami, and how about Andre Stringfield?
Oh, I'll tell you right now, I think all three of us, we could get a head start, and none of us could even come close to the speed that this gentleman has. I mean, the athleticism, again, as we were talking about, just absolutely amazing.
Well, Stringfield was so tough in that game. You see it there, celebrating with his teammates. Number 5 play of the day, as voted on Twitter. At number 4, Ward 5 versus the Red Cobras. And how about Raphael Busey with the INT?
I'll tell you, Coach, how bad would you want somebody to play on your team that gives that kind of effort?
I'll tell you what, I'd take that cover 2 safety any day.
Well, unbelievable concentration there. He never took his eyes off the ball there, guys. Great play. At number 3, Wildcats versus the Intruders, and this was the kickoff to start the second half. And how about Wesley Moore?
I said a couple moves, and all of a sudden we've seen it again. You get to the outside, and the speed just kills in this tournament. All of a sudden there, little dipsy-do around, and then he's gone.
Well, tight roping down the sideline. Great body control by number 3. He takes it for pay dirt and the score. Your number 3 play of the day, Wesley Moore. At number 2, the War Dogs facing off against the Ravens, and Eddie Kyle came up big in this game.
Yeah, I was going to say the great determination again. This try, we were just talking about Coach. I mean, it is all of a sudden this, you know.
Are you kidding? I mean, come on. Are you kidding? That is a fantastic effort.
Josh, what's going on here? No tearaway jerseys in Pop Warner.
Yeah,
great effort by number 1. And speaking of player number 1, moving on to our number 1 play of the day, Wake Forest Titans versus the Parkland Rangers, and the quarterback turned receiver, Vincent Pagano.
And honestly, the play that saved the game for them, if he misses this, I don't think they come back to win. But again, the effort, the athleticism, the skill to just follow it all the way, just absolutely amazing.
So many great plays today. Division II, we got another full day of coverage. We had 32 teams today, 32 teams tomorrow with the Division I. What can we expect tomorrow?
We have some great games for ESPN3. I can't wait. There's just some absolutely awesome stuff. I'll tell you the one game I just have to watch tomorrow. There's one that I got to sit down, get the popcorn for. It is Far West and Glen Cherry at 6 o'clock. And if you have nothing else to do tomorrow night, I know where you should be at 6 o'clock, and it is watching us on ESPN3.
Josh, I love it. Speaking of that 6 o'clock game, let's take a look at all the coverage tomorrow. Again, full slate of games, 4 games right here on ESPN3. Kicks off at 11 a.m. with Quakertown versus Loveland, Santa Clara versus Chicago, Virginia Beach versus Hartford, and then Josh called it the Far West Jets facing off against Gwen Cherry. I'll tell you what, folks, with that, we want to take a real quick break from the competition and excitement of today's games. Obviously, was super excited just to take a moment to remember a coach who inspired all of us so much, both on and off the field. I'm, of course, talking about Coach Jimmy Valvano. Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research was initially founded in 1993. Name of legendary coach Jim Valvano. To date, guys, check this out. The Jimmy V Foundation has awarded more than $150 million in the fight against cancer. All you fans out there, if you're available and you're able, please donate. 100% of your cash donations will be awarded directly to cancer research in the name of Coach Valvano. For more information, visit jimmyv.org and help us put an end to the terrible disease of cancer. Well, guys, unbelievable day. Real quick, last thoughts. Josh?
I can't wait for tomorrow at this point. Like I said, it's going to be a tough night to sleep. I'm so excited for it.
Coach?
Hey, next week now, Tuesday, the competition steps up a notch.
Steps up a notch. Folks, thanks for sticking with us today. Unbelievable first day of coverage. Come back with us tomorrow for day 2 of the 59th annual Pop Warner Super Bowl.